Hi, everyone, and happy weekend to you. It is Wes again with Pikes Peak Trades giving you the weekend metals and miners update. Going to take you through SLV, GLD, GDX, and then through a handful plus of individual names. We are looking here at the SLV weekly chart, and we are seeing what I think is an ETF just ready to break out from significant horizontal pivot resistance. It has punched this. Look at how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's taken that many body blows before I think this shiny metal can deliver the haymaker. And I'm projecting we get it. It's just pushed right into this little corner of this rail and this pivot. And I think when it moves big. I think we could see a 6 to 8 week period here taking us through the middle of March where the price appreciation could be surprising. So I have it right in the middle of the most bullish set of EW progressions. If I get you into the daily here, you can see the big picture. This is a primary 3. Cycle 2 is the low. This is primary 3 of cycle 3. We are within intermediate 3. I'm counting it as within minor 3 and minute 3. And if I take you into this, what I think is this bull flag, this is now the minuet degree 1, 2. So if it's going to move, it's going to move big. This is absolutely the kind of nested count that can be explosive. You're going to see we have all of these MAs stacked in bull position. 200 daily, 50 daily, 21 and 8 EMA, and I think it's ready. So I'm excited to see what SLV can do. Okay, now at the same time, we haven't really filled out the bottom of what I thought was a bull flag. And as I've mentioned a couple times, a bull flag's only a bull flag if you get at least 2 touches top and bottom. So I am wondering, is it possible that we do get a retreat down here to a more typical wave 2 fib and another touch? Yes, it's possible, but it's also possible that too low is in here. And when we broke up with the back test that we're going to now gap up on Tuesday and run. And I've got the potential of a run that would take it well into the 30s in early March. And I think that's possibly where we could see the cool off all the way into early March. Let's take a look at GLD. GLD, again, this massively long, basically 7-month bull flag. It's punched right up above. It's closing right slightly above its 50 week MA. And I think it's got all of these moving averages in place for a big gap up. So let's see what happens over this next week. If I take you into the daily here, we got, I think, an attractive 1-2 setup. It did get into a typical fib. That needs to move up strongly out of this channel. This has just been the rejection channel. Up and back test, and then I've got a couple targets here. Could be a little more ambitious. That target would correspond to perhaps a move in GLD, let's say by the end of March into the 200s. That's what I'm projecting, that we eventually get up GLD into the 2000s, which means gold is well into the 2000s by then. Okay, so that was GLD, now GDX. So GDX again, it's in a similar position. It had an inside week in position to get a break up and out of the channel and above its weekly MAs. Into the daily, it's got another 1-2 setup. So this is the kind of setup potentially to get this moving in a very, very exciting direction up and out of resistance. And then you would have seen here on the weekly chart, I think a good chance by the time that this move is done, the GDX doubles. And by done, I mean done at some point, maybe late spring, early summer. Okay, I want to try to show you one junior miner every weekend that I do this, and this is AYA. The US ticker that you would need to look for is MYAGF. This trades on the Canadian TSX. And I just want to show you the possibilities of what we're looking at. From a low back almost a year ago, about 65 cents, pushing here $4, and I think a junior miner that could easily jump up to $5. And that might even be conservative in the stretch of what it could do. This is just based on a typical fib and a typical channel progression, but there is nothing to say that this thing couldn't not only increase by 50%, but increase by maybe 200 to 300%. Okay, so that's AYA, one that I really like in the junior space. Let's look at the bigger named companies in the silver miners. Here we have AG with a nice week. Now, it didn't recover much of the previous week's bloodbath. It recovered some, right up against, again, significant horizontal pivots. And that's consistent with what you're going to see. We've got silver, gold, and these miners that are continually bumping up against this resistance. When it goes, it's going to go quickly, but it's been the waiting game that has been hard. Into the daily, it also has a potential 1-2 setup, and you're going to see when it goes, I think we could see 50% moves happen in a matter of a couple weeks. CDE. So CDE also, this very, very long-term resistance line. It's been trying to punch up against it. It tried again, got rejected here on the weekly, had kind of a negative week, but it's still holding all of its crucial support. And getting you here into the daily, another nested 1-2. So you can see that the potential consistently is in place across the board. And I've got very ambitious targets and quickly. Now, I went a little bit fast past this. Look at these earnings dates. Wednesday, we've got CDE. Tuesday, as that actually is Wednesday. AG Thursday. Let me get to FSM last, and we've got Hecla. So Hecla also with its earning report coming up here on Thursday. Huge week. Huge week. Could these earnings just be the extra catalyst? Let me get you to the weekly first on Hecla. You've got all of its weekly MAs in bull position. Exactly what you want. Just about ready to bull cross. Bumping up again, right against significant long, we're talking multiple decades plus resistance in a nested 1-2. I haven't put the sub-degrees on, but there they are. This was the pullback right to the 50-day SMA, right into typical fibs. And from a percentage basis, I think Hecla could be one of the biggest increasers, along with the last one that I'll show, along with FSM. So here FSM on the weekly, you're going to notice again, all the MAs in bull position right at this basically life of the stock pivot resistance. When that breaks, I think we could see a double. So we could see FSM, look at that bullish engulfing outside candle. We get up above this resistance, give it a back test. Look how much it's already run. What we now need to see, it's already shown the ability to run. Now it needs the ability to consolidate well above it in order to get those higher targets. And so let me scroll that back so you can see where those might be. A potential 3x move is what I'm projecting could happen in FSM. So I think we're set up for what could be a very explosive week. We've been waiting for it. If you've been active and anticipating in this space, The Elliott wave counts are there. I think we've got the fuel in the tank to do it. And let's see if this is the big breakout and hold and continuation week we've all been looking for.